time for Donkey of the Day.
Donkeys of the Day, ask Charlamagne.
I'm a Democrat, so being Donkey of the Day is a little bit of a mixed blessing.
So like a donkey. Hee-haw. Okay. Donkey of the Day.
The Breakfast Club, bitches.
Now, I've been called a lot in my 23 years, but Donkey of the Day is a new one.
By the way, today's Donkey of the Day is not on Revolt TV.
It's definitely not on Revolt.
Not?
They have separated themselves from us the way I wish we could separate ourselves from them.
That's awful.
Okay?
I don't even know why you got the camera in your hand, Steve. You can put that camera down, bro.
I wish the media would
They
separate.
really aren't playing
I wish the
us.
media would separate us from Revolt the way they separated themselves from us this morning. But Donkey of the Day for Wednesday, March 22nd goes to Stephen Rex Brown. Now, I Googled this guy and it says he is a reporter covering education for the New York Daily News. Well, he must be making the transition to reporting on other things because there's nothing educational about this clickbait, trash-ass article he wrote in the New York Daily News, okay, about us. Now, I understand the era we live in. It's the era of spin, the era of sensationalism, the era of nobody caring about the truth and the lie is more entertaining. People want hits on their stories. They want hits on their site, and they don't care who they lie on to get that traction. Now, Stephen Rex Brown, I'm reading in the New York Daily News this morning, and the headline is, Whites Cry Bias. Okay, producer suit. Power 105.1 favors blacks. Kids, listen to your Uncle Sharla. Okay, you should never judge a book by its cover, and in 2017, you should never judge an article by its headline. All right, this is one of those articles because this headline is a complete lie. All right, Power 105.1 favors blacks. What does that have to do with anything? Okay, what does that mean? This lawsuit does not name Power 105.1 or the Breakfast Club as defendants. If we aren't named as defendants, why have us in the headline? Now, if you don't know what's happening, what I'm talking about, the former producers of Revolt, some former producers of Revolt, are suing Revolt. Not Power 105.1. They are suing Revolt, accusing Revolt TV of favoring blacks over whites. Not Power 105.1, the station we're on in New York, okay? Now, I'm not the highest grade of weed in the dispensary, but contrary to popular belief, okay, I'm a black man that can read, all right? And if it clearly says Revolt TV is being sued for discrimination, why would Stephen Rex Brown put the headline Power 105.1
I don't know.
favors blacks? I'll tell you why. For clickbait. Okay? Now, the first paragraph of this trash-ass alternative fact-driven article that Stephen Rex Brown wrote is, white people are not welcome behind the scenes of a televised broadcast of Power 105.1's The Breakfast Club. A new lawsuit charges. Here you go again, putting us in something we have no business being in. Now, here in this building, the behind the scenes of Revolt TV is on the 4th floor. What floor are we on, guys?
Third.
Third. Okay? I don't know what goes on up there. Not my concern. Now, the 5 white men who worked at Revolt filed papers in Manhattan Supreme Court claiming they were victims of reverse racism. Now, this term always confuses me because a lot of white people act clueless towards racism any other time. You can turn a blind eye to the random acts of racism that happen in America all the time, but when it's something that affects you, all of a sudden you understand racism. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't reverse racism equality? Like,
yes.
The reverse of racism would be no racism at all. So I don't understand what people mean when they say reverse racism. Racism is racism. Now, Stephen Rex Brown is quoting the lawsuit, and he says, Revolt treated them worse than other employees who were younger and African-American. They claim one black production assistant frequently came to work late, drunk, and slept on the editing room floor during work hours, but was not punished.
Sounds like the culture.
Exactly, but I don't know nothing about that because I don't work for Revolt TV, okay? We on the what floor?
Third.
They on the 4th. I don't know what happens up there. Now, I can speak on this part. It says, whereas the show's on-air personalities, that would be us, right?
Yes.
Charlamagne the God, Angela Yee, DJ Envy. The show's on-air personalities tolerated lateness. The production team was used to producing shows where such a lack of punctuality was either less tolerated or not permitted whatsoever. And when they had a discussion about the lack of punctuality from the guests, they were told they did not understand the culture. What culture? Are you alluding to? CP culture? Black people on CP time? That's what that is code for, okay? You can call hundreds of PR people and label reps and they will tell you, we don't play with lateness, okay? We all busy in this room.
I'm calling racism on there reverse racism.
If you're late, your interview gets canceled. And for the most part, working here 7 years, I can say 90% of the artists, black, white, Latino, gay, whoever, they are for the most part, they're on time. Don't try to play us because we the black show and make it seem like we tolerate lateness. Now, the white people suing Revolt TV argue that their responsibilities did not require they have a firm grasp of black culture. Kids, listen to your Uncle Sharla. Okay, if you work for a company, whatever that company is selling, you should have a firm grasp of the culture of that company. I remember I worked at a radio station back in the day. It was the Big DM in Columbia, South Carolina. Drop one of Clues bombs for them.
The Big D?
The Big DM. It's a hip-hop and R&B station. They flipped formats to an adult contemporary station. They was playing Earth, Wind, and Fire in the OJs. I was 20-something at the time. I didn't fit the culture. I knew nothing about the culture of adult contemporary music, so I had to go. I didn't fit in. It is what it
I feel
is.
like you do know about adult contemporary.
I mean, now, because we older. So adult contemporary is Jodeci now. Okay? That's my era.
Right.
All right? But back to the matter at hand, because I really don't care, because the Breakfast Club, our Power 105.1, isn't the ones being sued. Because in this same trash-ass article, Stephen Rex Brown wrote, it says the suit does not name Power 105.1 or the Breakfast Club. Now, what gets me? If you can put this in the article, then that means you read the lawsuit and saw we weren't named. So why, Stephen Rex Brown, would you make the headline say Power 105.1 favors blacks when you know that's not what the lawsuit is about?
To make people read it?
Do you understand that we already have to deal with threats and death threats from white supremacists and white nationalists? These radical-ass Trump supporters who already think we a liberal, left-leaning show because we had Hillary on a couple times and Bernie Sanders, and we keep liberals on here. Do you realize all you doing is putting gas on their fire by trying to paint us as racist? Okay? I once thought that the cure to eliminate fake news was to simply tell people to stop getting their news from 140-character tweets and start reading reputable news sources. I thought the New York Daily News was a reputable news source, but clearly not if they letting this Stephen Rex Brown character use clickbait as headlines, okay? Reporters like you with your alternative facts and fake news are ruining our country. And when did the press get such a weak sense of responsibility for its judgments, okay? Mediocre journalists making up headlines just to get clicks has been generally accepted. I just thank God that I am in a black privileged position to call BS on the BS. Please give Stephen Rex Brown the biggest hee-haw, please. I'm just saying.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
All right. Well, thank you for that donkey today, sir.
Mm-hmm.
All right, if you're watching us on Revolt.
No, they're not watching us.
Not watching us. Revolt's not playing
Revolt's
us.
not playing
I told
us
you,
right
I
now.
wish that I wish the media would separate us from the story the way Revolt separating themselves from us this morning.
The Breakfast Club.